Alright guys, I got one more video for the night. My main lights turned off and now I only have the dusk light and dawn light. And the fish seem to have gotten a little bit frisky now that the lights turned off. As you can see, the white clouds have moved from the back of the tank where the main light is to the front of the tank where this dusk light is. They must just like to be in the light. Rummy nose still running. But the reason I wanted to show it to you was because the embers have come out now. The one, like pretty much all of them that are skittish are starting to come out now. And the rainbows are starting to do some displays with each other. And so I wanted to show you that if I could catch it. And now, to be fair, animals don't always work with you when you want them to. So maybe we'll get them, maybe we won't. But we can also see some of the white clouds do their displays too, which is interesting. But I want to kind of keep it. Oh, that's not the biggest one, is it? Oh, I don't know if you got to see that. I was moving around too much following the rainbow, but these white clouds are doing stuff. But oh, there's the rainbows. I wanted you to see the rainbows because they are starting to get interested in each other with the lights down a little bit. This one keeps trying to go over the plant, and then we'll chase those ones and try and then run back to the plant. So I think they're trying to like that one's trying to get him over the plant. See? Oh wait, is he gonna do it? Oh, I don't think they're actually spawning. I think they're just displaying right now, but they haven't done it yet, but they were when I walked into the room. So I'm going to try and sit still and see if they'll think I went away. I doubt it, but we'll see if they think I went away. Because these rainbows are starting to get playful. But yeah, that little Danio, the celestial Pearl Danio, is pretty cool. Oh, you can see this rummy nose that's all by himself? This is the one I was talking about earlier. And if you can see now, I'll try and catch up with him. See how it's a little bit whiter on this side, on that eye? Now, of course, it won't focus very well, but he just joined his crew. Keep it on him. Keep it on him. But that white is significantly better. It was completely clouded over, and now it's definitely more transparent. It's only been about 2 days of me turning the heater back on too. Oh, what are these guys doing? The big one is a toughie. But yeah, will they do it? And I'm not gonna edit these either, so like if it just sits there and we have to think about it. Ember Tetras are so cool. And they're darker red now because of that red light effect, but they're normally not quite that red. A little bit more copper colored almost, but in this light it's very red. Oh, you see that? That's the Rummy nose. Turn this way again. Oh, don't make me run all over. There it is. See how that eye is white? Whiter than that eye? But it's getting better. Embers are going all the way up, getting food. Yeah, I think they like it in this twilight. Cory cats still aren't moving around that much. They're pretty nocturnal, not 100%. They move around a lot during the day and they're fun to watch, but they do the bulk of their stuff at night. I was actually thinking earlier today while I was looking at it, I was thinking about tearing this whole plant apart. Celestial Pearl Danio. I was thinking about tearing this whole plant apart and just planting the whole bottom with it. Because like I said, I've got that aquarium grass growing outside for the past couple days, germinating and everything. Don't have any shoots yet, but oh, that one's displaying. That white cloud's displaying. Let's see him do it. There he is. Full. Oh, and then there's the really swollen with eggs one, so maybe he can do some business. He does seem to be the bigger of the males that is doing the displays all the time. See, there he is. He's displaying. He's gonna hurt somebody if they get too close to his ladies. Oh, little display. But that wasn't the point of this video. I wanted to see the dwarf rainbows do theirs, but they must be a little bit more skittish about me. So I'll let them do their business when they're alone. Typical, not letting people watch. I'm joking. But they are very beautiful fish, and they have interesting personalities. They try and school with the tiny ones sometimes. They try and chase them around sometimes, but it seems like they just try and get to be chased. Like, they'll chase them until one of them will start turning towards them, and then they turn around and try and run away. Like, they want to get chased down, and when they realize the little guys are not going to chase them, they'll like go back and try and do it again. It's kind of funny. And they'll run with these rummies sometimes, or they'll run the opposite direction as the rummies. So when the rummies run into each other, it always happens like right here. When the rummies come from one way and then the dwarfs will come from another, they'll just run. And since the dwarfs are so much bigger, of course the dwarfs won't try and adjust their path, so the rummies have to go all over to try and get around. It's pretty funny. They're just stubborn, want to block things up. Rummies are cool, but they sort of feel like a herd of zebras where they'll just stay together and go. Embers normally will stay together most of the time. You'll get a straggler that'll stay after they go through a bush or something like that, and they'll try and stay in the bush for a little bit. Celestial's always going to be in the same spot for the most part, just right there in that plant, safe. As you can see, the black neons right here are starting to come out a little bit more. They're not as skittish normally, but they're new. These ones are new. I've only had them for maybe 2 weeks. And I have my one really big one that was my last black neon that I had. And that's why I ended up getting these ones in general, was because I had that one last black neon that survived a worm outbreak. It was those weird red ones that it's hard to discuss because it's kind of gross, but they come out. Ooh, are they trying to do it back there without me seeing? But I'll keep it on there while I talk. These worms, they're red ones that stick out of their anus and just hang out of their anus, essentially. Happened to like, I got an infection and it killed off most of my Pleiades. It killed off all of my guppies. That's why I only have a handful of Pleiades left in another tank, and I've kept them isolated ever since because I think they still have them, but it's been like a year, and these ones that I have are still just the truckers that have managed to survive, but they still have them, and it's still gonna kill them eventually if I don't do something about it. And I say it's been a year, and it's messed up that I haven't done anything about it, but I've got so many other projects going on that I can't. And I'm not talking like fish related. I mean, I'm like outside, my daughter, my family, my house, like my cars, all the normal stuff, work, and so I just haven't been able to give it any attention, especially because it happened so fast. Like, all of them just got wiped out in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Start stragglers dying off at the end of a month, and then these guys are just not in this tank, but in another tank. These Pleiades just managed to survive, but this guy was with them. With my entire shoal of those and my red-eyed tetras. All the red-eyed tetras were gone. This guy was the last one, and he even did have it, but he managed to overcome them. She, don't know. It's kind of big-bellied and large, rounder in the abdomen, so it might be a female, but that one was the last one, and so I didn't want to just get rid of it. I didn't want to just leave it alone by itself, so I ended up getting a couple more of them so that it could hopefully form a school again, because it was trying to run with the dwarf rainbows, because it's almost the size, and it's just it got to the point where like it just started trying to sit only right here over by the glass, and now that I've got these other ones in there, it's getting out and doing its business a lot more. I keep missing these rainbows when they start doing it. But I should come in the middle of the night and do a video of how the rummy nose sleep, because it is funny watching them go around all day, just swim, 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 just keep swimming, and then you come in here and all the other ones will just sit there and like swim in place when they're sleeping, but those rummy nose, they just bury themselves into the plant. And it's like little extra leaves. It's kind of crazy. And they do it too pretty quick. Like as soon as the light turns off, they'll just dart straight into it as deep as they can. The celestial pearl has been, he's a little bit nippy right now, protecting his little spot, but he's been running with the white clouds when he comes out, and trying to mess around with those guys, because they like the current from, and you can't see it, but and in the smaller tank I only had half of this water, what do they call it? It's just the tube to my canister filter that repumps all the air into, or not air, but all the water back into the tank. And so there's a current there that pushes up on the top of the water, and so they like to play in that. They like to play in the current and just try and fight it, and they'll go back, and then they'll go and try and fight it for a little bit, and it just looks like they're surfing. And he likes to do that. Oh, look what he's doing. But yeah, the celestial Pearl Danio likes to do that, and so he'll do that with them. Oh, car alarm. Phoenix in lockdown. Are we gonna get to see a rainbow dance? Are we gonna get to see it? It would be so cool if I could get some fry from these guys.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Oh. My embers were in the back of the completely schooled up there just a second ago. Trying to leave it over there, a little dance floor there. Oh. What's so funny?
You're so interesting.
But anyway, back to what I was saying. I would love to see some fry in here. Of course, it's dangerous because they'll probably get eaten. But if anything could survive, because I'm not actively trying to mess with anything, if they manage to survive, then it's cool. But I'm not going to go out of my way to like take out adults, put them in other tanks and anything. Like, I just want them to do their thing and do it in here. They're okay, hopefully they're well enough fed. That's why I have the auto feeder. It's funny, it looks like this one's trying to protect its little turf, but it's not its turf. It doesn't normally care. Like during the day, it is in these gaps that's out in these sections. And then up back around here, like they'll stay out in the open spots. But right now, they seem, every once in a while, like they want to keep this plant to themselves. And the big one more than the other ones. Oh, I thought I was gonna get him. Wait a minute. Ah. I need to do a little bit more research on these dwarf rainbows. Like I was saying, I would like to get them a proper shoal, but I can't leave the house and they're getting way more expensive. So if I ever want to get it, I better get them now, or else they're like, I've had these guys for about a year almost, probably like probably 9 months. And from then it went from like $3 a fish up to like 10, like I said. And so I don't know if they're like getting harder to get. The ocean floor has them all the time though, so they just keep raising the prices is all. That's all that's different. All right, so the bubbler just turned on, and so it stirs the fish flakes, and so it makes them think that it's food time again. Maybe we'll get to see some finnage. But I've been feeding them frozen bloodworms, wafer discs for the catfish every once in a while. I've got bottom feeder shrimp pellets for the Cory cats too. I need to get shrimp back in here, but I'm not going to do the ghost shrimp, glass shrimp, whatever anymore. They're cool, but they are just what they are. And I want to get some of the good ones now, but like the little cherry shrimp and the blue ones and all those cool ones, but because they'd be really sweet and pop on some of these plants that I have. But will it be affected by the Cory cats? Are they going to be eating on the same food? Are they going to be eaten? I got to do the research on all that to see if I'm going to bring them back in. And I promised my daughter just the other day that since I got a new tank, and I got this new tank, the larger tank, and so I have my 20-gallon left over, and I had mangrove crabs, the red crabs, whatever, but they're mangrove crabs. I had those for a long time when she was first born, and for like until she was like 2, and she still remembers them. And so she's still like 4 years old, so talks like a normal human being and everything, but she's like, you remember when you had the crabbies? And I'm like, yeah, you want crabbies again? But I couldn't do it because I can't have a tank that's not full, because of the amount of fish that I like to have, the kinds of fish that I like to have and everything. But now I've got an empty tank that I can do half full, do some landscaping in it, already have the lid for it so they can't escape, but I can make it to where they can come out of the water now. So she's gonna get that tank, crabs and all, in her room as soon as I can get back to the store. and as soon as they get back in stock, like even before, I was looking around just trying to think about it, getting back into them. And when I was going around to the different stores, I didn't see any. And I definitely can't have shrimp and crabs together, obviously. When I was young, I made a very rookie mistake. Back in Illinois, we had unlimited access to newts, firebelly newts specifically. And I went out and I got them. I kept them. I had them for a good 2-3 years back when I was like 18 years old. And I was stupid and was like, hey, that's an awesome electric blue crawdad. Crayfish, crawdad, whatever, what part of the country you're from. But electric blue crawfish. Ooh, okay. One of those big mosquito eaters. Weird. I got an electric blue crawfish because I thought it would be interesting and put it into the tank with my newts, and it was a big mistake because it just kept eating its legs off and stuff like that. And newts will grow them back, but not when you eat all 4 legs off. And so when I saw that it was doing something, I'm going to catch you, bug, and I'm going to put you in the tank. But when I saw that happened, I scooped it up in a net and smashed it on the ground instantly and turned it into puree because I loved my newts and I had them forever, and this thing was brand new, and it was just a mistake that I bought it, thought it was cool. Do your research. Should have known. Rookie mistake. I lost my entire tank of newts. I had like probably 8 of them. And I haven't seen them since. I haven't been able to get them since. I've moved to Arizona now. I know we have newts here, salamanders, whichever ones, but we have something here. But I'm not going to go out into the wild and try and catch them because I think it might even be illegal. They might be like a protected species or something over here. Arizona has a really cool minnow here. It almost looks like a guppy, but it's a really, really cool like Arizona stream minnow or something like that. I'll look it up and try and find out what it's called, but they have them here. They're an endangered species or like a severely protected species or something like that. It might not be quite endangered yet, but if I can't do it. But I would love to be able to get my hand on some of those. And I have the Agua Fria river right over by my house, and I know they're in there. I know it. I know they're in there. But I just can't go catch them because it's against the law. But I'll look them up because if they ever do start to come back in numbers to where they go off of any kind of protected list, then I will get them because they're like super brightly colored. They're just nice. I'll see if I can find a picture and show it to you in another video. Oh, are they doing a dance back there? Not yet. Are they gonna do it? I don't want to spook up. I scoot back a little bit to see if they would forget I was here. See, they go and like chat with each other, and then one will go over the plant, and then they'll go and chat and see, like what I said, they normally hang out in the open water a little bit, but close to the plants. Ooh, what are we doing? Nope. They're just jostling for position, I guess. They were doing their displays with each other, but they're not now. But the sound of my daughter coming probably means the end of this video. Sorry I couldn't get the goods. I'll get it though. I'll get it eventually. All right, guys. Have a good one.